next news. Breaking news from the White House.
Tonight, the story the media mocked for years just got dragged in the center of American politics. President Donald Trump, from the Oval Office, says the government is prepared to release the UFO files. Congress is moving with a May 13th hearing, and a retired aerospace medical official is now warning that he could become the next scientist to vanish after speaking out. Let that sink in. We're no longer talking about internet rumors alone. We're talking about the White House, House Oversight, military witnesses, and a growing list of deeply suspicious cases tied to advanced aerospace knowledge. So the question now is no longer whether this story is real enough to investigate. The question is, what are they finally preparing to show us? Now, this matters to every American because if the federal government has been sitting on credible information about unknown craft, advanced technology, or covert programs funded with your tax dollars, then this is not some late-night novelty story. This is a transparency story, a national security story, and also a trust story. President Trump is doing what the permanent bureaucracy refused to do for decades: pry open the vault and let the public see what can be released. That alone is a major America First victory. And look at the timing. Trump says people have wanted answers for a long time, and he has spoken with solid pilots who reported seeing things they could hardly describe. At the same time, Representative Paulina announces House Oversight Task Force hearing for May 13th with MK Ultra and classified misconduct back under the spotlight. That means the era of smug dismissal may be ending. If secret programs operated in the shadows for years, then the establishment's about to face one thing it fears the most: sunlight, subpoenas, and a public that is no longer willing to be patronized. And speaking of what the Trump administration is doing out in the open, there is another major strategic move the corporate press is barely covering. It's breaking news from the White House. They just announced over $30 billion to secure America's critical mineral supply chains, named a specific Alaskan project as a key strategic asset for U.S. mineral independence. Now, I've personally been to the Vizsla copper drilling site in Canada myself. I've held the core samples with my hands. But what's happening in Alaska right now is bigger than most people realize. President Trump, he's just unveiled Project Vault, a $12 billion strategic minerals reserve designed to stockpile essential resources and keep America strong against foreign supply shocks. That puts companies like Vizsla Copper in the spotlight at exactly the right time. Now, if you want to understand why this matters, check the exclusive briefing, but it's only for Next News viewers. It's linked below. And look into Vizsla Copper and make note of this. It's traded in the United States under VCUFF and in Canada as VCU.V before the crowd catches on. Now let's get back to the disclosure story, because the next piece is where it gets genuinely chilling. While Washington prepares for a document release, the human side of the story is getting darker. A retired chief of aerospace medicine, Dr. Greg Rogers, says he has been harassed since revealing what he witnessed with reverse-engineered UFO during his time at NASA. He says he fears becoming the 12th missing or deceased scientist tied to this world. Are all those cases proven? No, but are they serious enough to demand investigation from Congress and the FBI? Absolutely, and they are. And then came another warning tied to a would-be witness. The memes are already coming out. This being posted. Release the alien files. Disclosure is here. Make aliens great again. The demand's getting louder. Representative Paulina also announcing this shocker today. Hearing on May 13th on MK Ultra. House Oversight Task Force. Did not have that on my bingo card today. So it's not just online pressure. The hearing is on the books. And next, the retired chief of aerospace makes a grave warning after saying he saw a reverse-engineered UFO during his NASA years. Now pay attention.
Dr. Greg Rogers coming back once more. This time I want to address the 11 military personnel and scientists that have gone missing or dead over the recent time. A particular concern to me is the fact that General McCaslin who disappeared just outside of Albuquerque, disappeared just a half mile from where my good friend Linda Moulton Howe lives. I know that she's very disturbed about it, as am I. The sudden, rapid and recurring disappearances and deaths are very unusual, especially considering the quality of the personnel who went missing and disappeared or were found dead. I've dealt with high-level personnel my entire career, and these are not people who would routinely do things of this sort, and yet they would be involved with operations and research projects that would put them in knowledge of very important things. Of concern to me is the fact that since I have come out with the revelation that I saw a reverse engineered UFO, I have been harassed, and it is of concern to me that I do not become the 12th person on that list. So I want to go on record as saying that I have this concern. I am not going to walk off into the woods. I'm not going to kill myself or do anything of that sort. So if you hear reports that something has happened to me, I want you to remember this video.
Wow. Gives you chills, doesn't it? Retired Chief of Aerospace. After that warning, the pressure on Washington gets harder to ignore. Another account says the government's preparing to release the long-awaited UFO alien files. The government is set to release the long-awaited UFO and alien files sometimes in early May. And a little throwback to Elon Musk back in 23. Elon, I'm not saying they're aliens, but the government UFO files dropping soon. What are we going to find out? The government has now confirmed the release of the UFO files will likely happen via aliens.gov domain. Trump officially commented on this today. We have his remarks. It's not a rumor. The UFO whistleblower is issuing a chilling warning after Air Force officer found dead before he could testify. One of the central cases featured in a film involves an Air Force veteran, Dylan Borland, who testified before Congress in 2025 about encountering a 100-foot triangular craft near Langley while stationed there. Sullivan's death is so suspicious in more ways than people know that the FBI and Congress are involved. Sullivan worked in roles connected to military intelligence, advanced tech programs, reportedly scheduled to provide testimony about classified UFO-related matters before his sudden death. Corbell said the timing raised serious concern, saying this is very uncharacteristic in so many ways of what's going on, and the timing is so bad. Maybe he was so distraught, he did something to himself. I wasn't there, I don't know. This is the headline from the Daily Mail. UFO whistleblower issued chilling warning after Air Force officer was found dead before he could testify. Suspicious deaths are why so many Americans think the swamp's been hiding the truth for decades. Now, fresh footage said to show a glowing disc over Nellis Air Force Base. Here's the footage from April 19th, 2026, over Nellis. What do you think it is? Video over major base keeps moving from theory to evidence. Now President Trump also welcoming Artemis 2 astronauts, giving NASA its due.
We have some people that have captivated the attention of the whole world, not just our country, the whole world, and they're very brave, and there was a lot of rocket under them. I never saw anything like that. We were talking about it. It's I don't know how they do it. I wouldn't want to do it, but it takes people like this to make our country great. And again, I've never seen anything. Everybody I knew, they went to see the launch, and they especially wanted to see a successful landing.
And of course, they were successful. Now, here's the president reacting to the UFO disclosure.
I think we're going to be releasing as much as we can in the near future for some reason, and I guess it's just a reason that's been in the minds of people for a long time. That is such, they want to find out about the UFOs and anything having to do with UFO or related material, and we're going to be releasing a lot of things from that we have, and I think some of it's going to be very interesting to people. I've interviewed people, my first term primarily, but I interviewed some pilots, very solid people, and they said they saw things that you wouldn't believe. So you're going to be reading about it. Yeah.
You're going to be reading about it, and we will be reporting about it. The disclosure is upon us. Now, here's the point the establishment never wanted to reach. Disclosure is no longer coming from one fringe corner. It's coming from the top down and the bottom up at the same time. Trump is publicly committed to releasing as much as possible. House Oversight is moving. Whistleblowers are warning that an Air Force-connected witness died before he could testify. A video said to show a glowing disc over Nellis is circulating again, and the public is hammering the White House to release the alien files. Put that together, and the message is unavoidable. This is becoming a full-spectrum accountability story. Not just are UFOs real, but who knew what and who hid it? And why was the American people kept in the dark for so long? That's the real bombshell here. So President Trump welcomes the Artemis II astronauts to the Oval Office, praises the courage and excellence that make this country great. That's the right frame for tonight's story too, but America does not fear the truth. America leads with strength, asks hard questions, and rejects the arrogant gatekeepers who think they can hide history forever. If these files contain even a fraction of what witnesses have claimed, then the public deserves the facts, Congress deserves the answers, and the deep state culture of concealment deserves to be shattered. So here's my question for you. Do you believe the Trump administration should release everything it legally can on UFOs and classified aerospace programs? Yes or no? Drop your comment below and share this report everywhere. Subscribe if you're done waiting for corporate media to catch up. Check out the Next News merch shelf below this video. And for direct alerts that bypass big tech suppression of our work, look at the screen. Text raw feed to 844-840-4963 so you get messages straight to your phone from me. Stay sharp, stay free, and keep demanding the truth.
The system controls information. Information control is power.
They don't want you to see this.
The truth only survives together. They don't want this. Share this now.